good Sunday morning. This is not a drill. I'm walking as fast as I can. It's just after 7. I got up at 5:30 because this is my last shot at Rise of the Resistance this year. And then it's all about, I don't know when, in January. But the extra joy of today is it's the final weekend of gold pass holders before the blackout. So I have one job, and it's get on a boarding pass for Rise of the Resistance. And then after that, it's all gravy town. And by gravy town means going to Aldi's and grocery shopping. So, no pressure. But I'm like sailing out of bed and immediately starting on the power walk. Here we go. So yeah, it must be final gold weekend. Holy moly. Alright, I'm in. I got my boarding pass number, and it is about on par with Beetlejuice's number to process through purgatory. So no pressure. Groceries will not be seen today, as I'm going to spend the entire day at the park according to this boarding pass number. So we'll see what I do. I don't know. The other thing is, I don't know if you can leave and come back, or if like you lose your spot if you leave. So I have to find all this out. While I'm waiting, I might as well hang out at Star Wars Land while I figure out what I'm really doing. Alright, so for the noobs, this is where I'm trying to get past. And sometime between now and midnight, actually it'll be between now and 9 p.m. because I don't have extra magic hour capabilities. So yeah. This might be predicted. I just walked through and I'm heading for the Toy Story exit, or entrance, depending on how you look at it. So everybody who's waiting for their boarding pass is like, hey, I know, we'll ride the Falcon. Because you know that line will be short. Yeah, maybe like noon. Alright, so that concludes Star Wars Land for a minute. Ten-minute wait for alien saucers. I'm curious to know what the Slinky Dog situation is, because I figure that's plan B for a lot of people. Actually, plan C. Falcon was plan B. It looks like the usual morning line for Slinky. Good Lord, I'm not even seeing the end of the line for Slinky yet. I'm almost out of the land.
Okay, guys, slow down.
And this is why we sit on benches all the time. Just FYI. Santa Buzz. Alright, found the end of the line for Slinky. There's nobody even holding a placard for it. So I think that like they're not allowed out here. Because this is Municiburg now, so yeah. Alright, I'm a bit underdressed for the weather, by the way. So I'm from the north. It's supposed to go to like 80. Man. So I was going to go into One Man's Dream to warm up, but yeah, no, not until 10. So I'll just slowly freeze to death on camera. That is why we get up at 5:30 in the morning. Sheesh. I don't think it's even 7:30 yet, is it? Yeah, no, it's 7:27 or 28. Sheesh. Looks like a good place to hang out. They're on group 21. I have 109. I don't know. It's a higher number than 21, like by a lot. Talking triple digits here, people. At least the heat's on in the gift shop, so that's good news there. By the way, I'm glad I grabbed that Mandalorian mug when I did, because it is gone big time. So gone, it's like it was never here. So So Disney rule is if you see it, buy it, but do not think it's going to be a forever thing. Mandalorian stuff is hot right now. Not that I know anything about that. I didn't get this here, but I have sources. Alright, so the name of the game is stand in line today if you want to get anything done. So since I'm an idiot and left my coffee out in the car, I've really got to find out if I could go and come back. If nothing else, to drink my coffee. It's kind of a long line to stand in to drink something I brought with me. Alright, I have good news. You can come and go if you're on a boarding pass. So I'm going to go and come back. Go where? I don't know. At least to the car to get my coffee. That's step one. And then after that, I don't know what I'm going to do. I might Skyliner over to something else, like Art of Animation or something. Somewhere where people aren't. Because, you know, the next issue is, do I go home and do Aldi's and then come all the way back? Or do I do bird in hand and just hang around here because I'm here and I have parking that's relatively decent? And then just Aldi's will happen when Aldi's happens. I don't know. These are the tough questions we ask on this channel. So I wonder what Disney's policy on tailgating is. I'm sure it's like no. But my plan is to, you know, drink my coffee and then leave it in the car. Hi, Meg. Alright, so there's what I'm not doing. Because my brain thawed out. So here's the thing about Disney. I'll tell you that in a second, so I'm not just filming random crap. So the thing about Disney World when you have no actual plans is there's what's called the curse of choice. And on the one hand, you can do anything, in theory. But the problem is you can do anything. And because of that, so you could just like short out and not do anything because you can't commit to anything because there's too much to pick from. Or it's just overwhelming to come up with an idea unless you have something really specific in mind and you can just zero in on it. Yeah. Well, I didn't have that, but I was like, well, you know, I'll Skyliner over to something or other like Art of Animation and I'll go get some coffee, even though I just had it at the car, and just chill out for a while before going back to the theme park. And in the distance, I see the dolphin, like, hey, stupid. I wanted to check out that place called Fuel. They have coffee, FYI. The place looks cool from the outside. I haven't checked it out yet. Well, today's the day. See, I told you, brain thawed out. Just you reconsider making me wait till midnight for my attraction. Next up on the Disney derping tour, I have not checked out the gift shop at the Dolphin. Alright, it's just after 9. Just did the Dolphin. Not wanting to hang out at any one given spot till it's showtime for the Rise of the Resistance thingy. So what Fuel is just a quick service, like coffee and things spot, kind of like a marketplace joint. I guess the best thing I can compare it to at all would be the Mara, I guess. Except it's pretty kicked up. So maybe another thing would be the All-Star Music food court in a way, but again, it's more kicked up than that. I don't know how to really explain it, and I didn't film in there just because I felt weird doing that. They have Lavazza coffee, which I appreciate, so I'm glad I skipped the Starbucks line and went to that because it was much quicker, and I had overnight oats the Nutella style, which again, highly appreciated. I hit the spot, it was like $6 for the new oats. Coffee was like $3.50 or whatever. Yeah, the Dolphin's one of those sneaky places that if you think to do it, I mean, theme park price-wise, it's more expensive than if you just stayed home, but that's kind of the trade-off. So as it comes to saving money at Disney, I would say if you can sneak over to the Dolphin and get stuff at Fuel, then do it. Speaking of shopping at the Dolphin, I got my 2020 pin. I got Mickey. I got Stitch last year. I really didn't like the 2019 pin designs. They're somewhat better for 2020, enough that I got Mickey. They always do the spinny design. It seems like every year. They had a Stitch again, and I got Stitch last year. So, there's that, and they take AP, so that's nice. So now I am back on the wandering trail here. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to go to Epcot and derp around over there, or if I'm just going to go back to Hollywood Studios, or if I will get on the Skyliner and go somewhere Skylinery. I don't want to move the car is the thing. I do like that, yes, you can leave the park, and yes, you do get updates of your position in line for the Rise of Resistance thingy. So that's cool. As I said, it's just after 9. It's like Southwest, where there's, so instead of groups A, B, and C, they're numbered boarding positions. I'm in 109. The highest number group you can be right now, at last look, was 29. So it's moving at a pretty good clip, numbers wise. And they're doing a pretty wide spread of what these numbers are. It used to be like, it was like 6 to 12, and then suddenly it was like 6 to 21, and then it was 12 to 24. And now it was something like 12 to 29, I want to say, or 14 to 29. I have no idea how many of these numbers they go up to. That's the other thing I don't get is they said that they've done it all for the day. Let's just assume that they stopped at 110. That would be my luck. Then what? Like, do they just shut the attraction down, or do they just let any stragglers that forgot to come in when they were group 2 come in there finally? Or what? I don't know. Maybe I'll find that answer out, or I won't. I mean, it's not like I could say I'm swamped with things to do right now, other than, get steps. All right, so apparently my feet have decided I'm going back towards Hollywood Studios. So speaking of things I have time to do while I'm waiting for my turn in line, somebody was asking once in our comments, and I have no idea if they stick around to check out any of our videos anymore, but if you do, hi. They were asking about, what do you do about filling up your water bottle at the parks? Well, basically you use a water fountain. My preference is a bottle filler if they have them, and so here at Hollywood Studios by the bus area they have them, by the men's and women's restroom nearest to the buses. In the park itself, the only bottle fillers I know of are in Star Wars Land. There could be more, but I just don't recall seeing them. Typically, it's going to be using a drinking fountain, and I'm fine with that. As you know, we like to use Crystal Light to spike our water so that it's not just water. Also notice it goes down quicker when you do that, so that could be something of an issue depending on how much you brought. But if you get some of that funky taste in water, depending on the quality of the drinking fountain or whatever, adding that crystal light helps smooth it over. So there's that. Anyway, now to figure out what I'm actually doing for the next, say, 6 hours.
On the path of the Jedi.
Really, I have to be up against the wall in the back row. Jamie's favorite. Haven't ridden it yet. However, there are new magic bands. Who wears those anymore? Alright, while I was waiting, I kicked it old school and did Star Tours. Just so you know, pending the new movie, which is this coming Friday, which blows my mind. Star Tours is the same 2 scenes. You do Force Awakens and Last Jedi. That's it. It doesn't change. Somebody was like, well, if you write it a bunch of times, it changes. No, it does not. It's too close to the new movie. They're just going to keep doing the same 2 scenes over and over and over until the new movie scene, which is yet to be announced. And then there'll be probably 2 scenes where guaranteed the new movie scene will be in it. I don't know if the other stuff's going to be random anything else, or if it's going to be random one of the 2 other new movies, but then that's it. So just set expectations. It was still fun to do. I mean, I got in, got out, and I was the rebel spy. For all the times I've ridden it, I was never it. And what I found out was that they take your picture while you're sitting waiting for things to happen on the ride. Because I didn't have my flight glasses on, and then when they said, we're looking for this rebel spy, it's like, hey, wait a minute, I didn't have my glasses, or, I wasn't wearing my flight glasses. So it was sometime during the sitting around waiting part. So there. This is Star Tours knowledge being dropped on you, which I don't know what percentile of the world cares about because of, Star Wars land that I'm about to go back over into and derp around in. Didn't we just leave this party? All right, we've met before at Disneyland.
Oh, right.
In fact, I ran into you at Epcot and scared the crap out of you.
Oh, no.
You were there live as Adam the Woo was filming a video. It may or may not be a live stream. Well, this came a long way from Disneyland. And to be fair, so did Adam the Woo. Wait, why are they together? That's not canon. Django, you rounded out my collection. Even nicer, you can get the drinks separate and not gunk up your Django thing. So how about that? Also, the sign in there said $12.99, but mobile order was $9.59 or whatever. So nice. It's a Christmas miracle.
Get up, Julia.
Come on.
Let's see if we can spot our car.
Troy, art of animation means having your own Skyliner. Yeah, the line for Epcot was ridiculous. Yeah.
Welcome aboard the
Art of animation. Yeah, I brought the Epcot book in case I did the cookie walk. But instead I'm going to do the food court here. Now let's check out the cupcake situation at Art of Animation. Mostly Little Mermaid and Mickey. So before I plug in, I had to buy a wall wart, which stinks, but that's how it goes. I did not anticipate being here this long, but here we are. This is why I'm normally a pessimist, by the way. So turkey sandwich, chips and Caesar, and also a cupcake. Not just any cupcake. I hightailed it over there the minute I saw that was a thing you can get here. Also, I don't know how Jamie's going to feel about me doing a solo trip to Disney and picking up a piece of tail. So you can pick which joke you like there. Cupcake time! Let me get this crap out of the way. Way out of the way. So very sparkly on the top here. And then boring underneath. See how it is. They lure you in with the sparkly whale tail here. And then, man. Alright, the Epcot line's not as bad as it was, but I'm paranoid, so I'm going to go back to Hollywood Studios because I don't want to have to fight heaven and earth to get back there when it's my time for the boarding pass. I have one job, people, one job. Now for a round we like to call it, this is the answer, what is the question? And the answer is 30 years. What is the question? Is it, how long will it take to get on this ride? For the record, that's my third trip since this security today. Sheesh. Getting different looks, you know. There was the morning mayhem, and then there was the afternoon not so bad, and now it's the people who are here want to be here. Like, you know, me. Not that I want to be here, but I'm here. They're up in the 60s, at least for boarding groups. So there's a possibility the sun might actually be shining when they call my number. I remember when I was here and this wasn't open yet because it was like 6 in the morning. Good times. Well, I got plenty of time to check it out now. Him and me both. I'm going the other entrance to be different. Ooh, ah.
Yeah.
Jedi don't normally show me mugs. I guess the galaxy's changed. So for those of you watching the show, have you noticed that the Mandalorian's disintegrator rifle has been missing from the last 2 episodes, 5 and 6? Found it. I don't like the looks of this.
Your allegiance should be with the First Order. Be careful, citizen. Your allegiance seems misplaced. Good. You seem very interested in that data pad. So now we are. What are you doing?
I'm swearing my allegiance to the First Hors d'oeuvre.
That does sound important. I'd offer you one of our restricted frequencies for emergency use only, but you're already on it. Stick to civilian channels, civilian. That's a no.
I'm interested to know what actually is the first hors d'oeuvre. Is it those mushroom profiteroles or those spring rolls I like? Because that has something to do with whether or not I want it. So you'll notice I haven't been doing the Falcon today. It's because, one, I just don't feel like standing in super long lines, which I know is stupid because I've been here since, 07. On the other hand, single rider's been down like a lot. There was a brief shining moment this morning when it was up and going, and it hasn't been up for hours. I'd rather not derp around on the line. Also, Imperial Spy or whatever. Rebel Spy? I don't know. I don't know who she's supposed to be, really. Here she comes down. Here she goes. Well, while I'm still made of time, it's going to be at least 3 more hours till they call my number. That's the way it's looking. Anyway, so it's time for a teachable moment. Brought to you by Star Wars Land. And that teachable moment is, it has to do with fiction and fiction writing. And that is to say that what I've found is that audiences have a tendency to forgive a lot if you give them what's called the explaining sentence. As an example, the Starship Enterprise is powered by dilithium crystals. How it does it, who knows? But that's all we need. It runs on dilithium crystals, that's it. That's all we need to know. So at least there's an answer. And then there's also potential conflict if they run out. Well, anyway, this woman comes walking up. They've gone now, but this woman comes walking up in earshot, and she's complaining to her buddies or her family or whatever that she tried to have a picture taken with Chewbacca, and he just walked away. It was so rude. Oh my God! And I'm thinking, well, first of all, Launch Bay has Chewbacca. That's I think where they're trying to shunt you over to. And a cast member overheard her complaining to her family about this over and over. And she said something about he's keeping a low profile from the First Order, and oh yeah, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, and they just walked away satisfied. She could have said go to Launch Bay, but no. Yeah, I don't think they're going to say that in Star Wars now. Plus, no one should say that really ever. But explaining sentence, people, it's a thing.
Out of my way.
All right, yeah.
Back.
Single rider's back. I'm going in. There's Pepe's door. This seems new in the single rider experience. Used to be only go one way. Made it.
Welcome. Cruise this for the Falcon for a little bit. My favorite color credentials right now.
Oh, look at this mess.
Any more blue credentials?
Now, after my modest profit, your cut minus what you owe me for damaging the Falcon is, hey, not bad. R5, damage report. Engine failure. Alright. Hyperdrive leak. That is not too good. Multiple hull ruptures. It could be time for you to go.
Alright, that was my best performance on the Falcon yet. This time I just focused on hitting the buttons on Engineer and not really worrying what was on the screen. There we go. Some shade. I had a sneaking feeling they took Single Rider down. There was a woman who, she wasn't disabled, but she was more elderly. And one of the cast members looked at her sitting on the steps, going up to the landing for Single Rider. And she looked down at her and she just said under her breath, "I'm not going to do it." And I think what she was going to say was, "It's down." So they must have cut it off right after us. So I've done 2 attractions so far. It's 3 o'clock, and all of them Star Wars. Seems legit. This is hours up from the no attractions that we normally do. But you know, for the record, I've been here since 7 a.m. Trying to hit the refresh again on the waiting and see how I'm doing. Group 84 at the highest right now at 3 o'clock. The other thing is I have no idea how long it takes to get through the queue line to the actual attraction once you get past the voting group dealing. So I don't know, it could be late at night by the time I get home. Nice. Oh well, these were the risks today. To recap the reasoning behind this whole shenanigation is if I don't do this today, I don't do it until sometime in January at the earliest. I just don't know when that's going to be because the first weekend in January is when gold pass holders can come back. So if this is the last weekend day that they can be here, it's like bookended crap. And then in later January we have a cruise, so I'm not going to be around anyway. So that's like 2 weekends that there's like no way. The other thing is we've observed this is a very time and labor intensive process here involving only me because Jamie's not going to actually ride this. So all the more reason I'm just toughing it out and doing this, you know, taking one for the Star Wars team here. But you know, I'm looking forward to it still. I mean, I know it's funny, I didn't break 5,000 steps yesterday, and now I'm well over 20,000. I'm going to be screaming in pain tomorrow, if not later tonight. I got to definitely push the pain meds when I get home. So I'm looking for some of those pounds to fall off that I've been putting on. More on that story later, but anyway, time to go derp around some more. Stormtroopers here. Just trying to hang out. No, the problem with this joint, and this joint being Star Wars land, they have so many incidental sound effects going on, up to and including they have the Pepe door down here, kind of like Pirates of the Caribbean, and every once in a while they have the torture droid sound come from under there, and I keep feeling I'm going to get stabbed in the calf by something, like a syringe. So anyway, everyone's all going crazy waiting for something to happen over there, and I don't think they're doing the stage show all that much. I think I saw it happening once, and I was coming around the corner where they were just ending it. I've seen Kylo Ren a couple of times wandering around, but there just hasn't been the theatrics that there's been known to happen. The other guy that I saw once today was the First Order Lieutenant guy, and I had a bit saved up for him, but he hasn't been around for me to do it. So if I see him, I'll do it. But I don't know, for last weekend a gold pass holder, they're really holding out on us here. I went several hours without any stormtrooper sightings, and then finally they not only showed up but then gave me shit, as you saw on the video, I'm sure by now. I don't know what's going on anymore. I have nearly 2,000 or 2,200 or 22,000 steps for, something where I was hoping I'd be on the ride by like maybe noon. My prediction of about 5:30 seems to be holding up. I don't know how they base their like span of people on. I'm just going to assume they have some kind of way of scanning in to know that X amount of people are there. And as you process through, I'm sure they widen the net a little bit wider. But it seems to be a span of up to 20 boarding groups. So my best hope right now is that they'll be boarding 89 to 109. And they're not near there yet. Be a good time to check and see where they are at. I think the top end is in the 80s though right now, the last I looked. Yeah, it's just after 4, and it's 74 to 92. And again, I'm 109. So 5:30 is really looking realistic. I don't know, man. I don't know what time I ate anymore. Part of me wants to go get a Pop-Tart over at Toy Story Land. Part of me wants to lie down. Part of me just wants bed. Ready to say I'm getting too old for this shiz, but this is a once in a great while situation. I mean, how often does new rides at Star Wars Land show up? And hey, there's the lieutenant guy. How about that? And he's mic'd up, so I guess it's time for Joe time. Wake up, First Order, it's Joe time.
Attention! Civilians! Travelers, do gather round. We have important information from the First Order. Yes, all of you. This does concern you. You will want to hear it. All of you in this outpost, hear me. As you have seen for yourselves, the First Order has brought security and control to what was a dysfunctional and disorderly place. Unlike the Resistance, which we have all but destroyed, what little does remain will be crushed. They have no weapons, no army, no heroes. And yet they want to regroup, to fight against us when they have no chance. We have reason to believe a Resistance spy was sent here to this outpost. No doubt scouting for a place to hide. She cannot be operating alone. Someone is helping her. Someone is hiding her. And someone knows where to find her. If you are stopped for questioning, do as you are ordered.
Excellent advice.
Troopers!
Have you found the Resistance spy, Lieutenant?
Not yet, sir. But we have initiated reconnaissance patrols.
The spy was tracked here. And if she is here, the Resistance could be here. You were sent to find her. But you have failed.
Sir, someone has information, sir. We will get it.
No, Lieutenant. I will get it. You are dismissed. Troopers.
Yes, sir. Let it be known to all on Black Spire Outpost the full extent of power of the First Order. If we believe you know something, or that you are hiding something, we will find out. On with your day. for the order. The appropriate response would be for the order. I thought I smelled skunk.
He says he can take our order. I like a Big Mac, fillet of fish. Excuse me, Lieutenant. I'm interested in learning more about this first hors d'oeuvre. Now, it's not stuffed mushrooms, is it? Please say it isn't.
Who might you be?
I'm interested in the first hors d'oeuvres. I haven't eaten all day.
Well, the First Order would be happy to give you one ration a day. Do you think that you could make it on that?
Is it like one of those challenge rations? Like if you could eat the whole thing, you get it for free?
All you need to do is enlist.
Oh, well, that sounds interesting. Where do I do that at?
Do you think you would make a good stormtrooper?
I don't know. My aim's pretty good.
I'm not sure I agree.
Okay.
Actually, second thought, we're good.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, why don't you carry on?
All right, that sounds like a plan. Thanks. Okay, day made. I amuse myself. I mean, someone has to, because... anyway. So no pressure, Rise of the Resistance. You have to be better than that bit. I don't know, man.
You are part of the First Order now. You don't recall making the choice. Out of my way.
Oh, how it taunts me. Just to recap, at some point in my life, I'm supposed to get past that gate and explore untold riches that lay beyond this phalanx of cast members, up to and including that guy. It's the most privileged plant in the galaxy right here. It's beyond the VIP rope. All right, I had to de-immerse from Star Wars Land for a little bit. Swear to God. I'm just so thrilled that that lieutenant thing recorded. Poof. Anyway. All right, now to figure what the hell I'm doing. I might go to baseline tap over here and get the charcuterie. If we're gonna make it a me day, we're just gonna go all in, I think. Or I'm not, I don't know. Anything can happen. Or it won't. It's just about Star Wars parade time. As per everybody getting ready for the show. But no flags leaning up against the set. Yes, I'm so glad I de-immersed from Star Wars Land so I can come over here and look at the Star Wars. Hey! Hey, there's Death Troopers. Now it's Christmas. No Boba Fett? What?
Say hi to me.
Apparently Boba Fett's on vacation at Mandalore Bay. So, nope. Interesting. They just completely cut that part out. I wonder if it's because of all the chatter that Boba Fett's not a real Mandalorian. Not that that's any of my business. I guess that would work if I had something to drink, wouldn't it? Well. Okay, I got a tall coffee just because I don't want to be up all flip at night. We'll see how that goes anyway. And I got the crash and landing gingerbread cupcake. Why not? Okay, I don't know what I was expecting here, but once again, it's fancy up top and boring on the bottom. I'm going to assume this is where the gingerbread's at, though. Plus white chocolate. All good. Okay, so this time, I don't know what it's filled with. I'm going to assume like nutmeg or something. I don't know, like some kind of creamy something or other. It's solid frosting. So it's solid frosting. So we'll see. I haven't really gotten too deep into it yet. Looks like spiced apple in the middle, which I'm all for it. Very seasonal. All right, 4th trip to the Star Wars entrances today. Now I'm hoping the 4th is with me because they're in the hundreds. It might even be before 5:30 as far as me getting past the phalanx. As far as actually on the ride or whatever the hell it even is, it is yet to be seen. Oh my God. I swear to God, there's not enough Advil and icy hot in the world right now. All right, well, I'm mere moments away from the finally calling my number. The crash and burn cupcake or whatever the hell that was. It's the guys from Jingle Band over at Starbucks. Not bad. The solid wall of frosting gets a bit old, but beyond that, what I thought was going to be boring sponge cake was mixed with the spiced apple, and it was a good flavor. I liked it. And I had the smallest of coffees just to kind of get me through. I'm going to need real food for real people at some point. At this point, I may just blast off home and then figure it out. But first, resistance will rise at some point. All right, they're up to 108. Move into position. Any second now, my phone will buzz. And by any second, I mean 20 more minutes. You've all been waiting for the back side of turret. And then parts unknown. Okay. Now to stretch every synapse to explain just exactly how awesome all that just was. Oh my God. Avatar is poop. I mean, just it's poop. So how can I put this? So you know the rides like in Tokyo Disneyland and Shanghai, if you look at some of the videos and it's like, why don't we have stuff like that? Well, now we have stuff like that. And my god. So yeah, I said the sun wouldn't be out when I got back. Nailed it. Which, for as much as that takes place outdoors, it's really weird. It's like you're just so used to the sterile environment, and all of a sudden it's like, wait, I think we're like outdoors. And then same with the ending, where it's like, huh, we're outside. All right, well, wow.
So I can't say how I would have felt.
Not sure how that's going to go in the rain. But I guess we have all year to find out next year, right? So the zillion dollar question is, was it worth the wait? Yes. Without a doubt, yes. I'm so glad I got to do it now. New movies on Friday, I'm all hopped up. I think I went out on a high here as far as being blacked out on my annual pass for the remainder of the year, but you know what? I'm can be a happy man that I got to do this. Oh my God. So Meg was saying that instead of doing a cruise, she'd rather do Rise of the Resistance. I'm like, you're crazy. How would you not do a cruise? All right, yeah, I get why Meg would think that. I mean, I still think in a perfect world, do both. But if you couldn't do a cruise, then definitely do Rise of the Resistance. Muggered. Wow. All right, I am completely cooked and fried and beat. My ankle's going to snap any minute now. I'm heading to the car and getting the Sam Hill out of here. We'll just have to live on whatever groceries we have for 24 hours. And it's back to, reality. Thanks for watching.
Oh, really?
How about this?
No!